Hi, I'm Caleb Barlow. I'm the CEO of the security and privacy firm Synergistic. And like many of you, well, we're bunkered up here at home waiting out coronavirus. And I suspect many of you have your stockpiles of toilet paper and hand sanitizer on hand. But more importantly, what are you going to do for your teams to help protect their security and privacy while everybody's bunkered up at home? So we put together a little video series to talk about some of the top tips and things that you can do over the course of the next couple of weeks. And today we're going to talk about a key concept that can help you prepare for a larger crisis. What happens, for example, if your teams encounter a major security event while everybody's remote at home. And that concept we're going to talk about today is called a commander's intent. So a commander's intent is a concept that was developed in the military. And the idea here is that a battlefield commander needs to communicate to the troops the how of something is to be accomplished, and ultimately the desired end state. So to give you an example, a commander's intent of take that hill by any means possible is a very different commander's intent than take that hill with the lowest cost of life possible. Two ideas both involve taking the hill, but how that's to be accomplished and the intent of that commander are very different. So the commander's intent is this incredibly powerful concept that can be used in really any type of crisis, certainly outside of the military. And it's one of the most powerful concepts that incident response teams use on large-scale cybersecurity incidents, because it provides a clear and concise expression of the operation's purpose and the desired end state. But if you think about many cybersecurity incidents, it's also a leadership tool that operates in chaotic, demanding, high-pressure environments where you need to prioritize decisions with limited data and information available. It's also a clear and repeatable message, and it can survive the commander. So, obviously, in the military concept, if the commander's injured, the commander's intent can continue on. In a traditional cybersecurity incident, it's a great tool if, for example, the commander happens to be on a plane for the next 8 hours. But it is an incredibly powerful tool when we're thinking about what might happen right now, where your teams are all bunkered down, riding out COVID-19, and worst case, what happens if one of your key people actually becomes infected and is unable to help in the midst of a cybersecurity response. So I want to encourage you to think about, how do you write a commander's intent for a cybersecurity incident at a time when your team, again, is bunkered down waiting out COVID-19. So here's a good example of a fictitious commander's intent. Now, I don't know if Federal Express really uses this, but this is a great example to understand what a commander's intent might look like. So if you're Federal Express, you care about getting all packages to the destination in a safe, damage-free, cost-effective manner within the shipment period outlined by the customer. Pretty straightforward, and it focuses on packages. Now, let me show you one of the more famous commander's intents that has actually been used in a cybersecurity incident. So when the global shipping giant Maersk was infected with NotPetya. Now imagine this. The bulk of the world's trade goes through this company. They can't get ships into port, and their CEO does something amazing, only about 2 hours into the incident. And what most people don't realize is all of their IT systems were down. In fact, even their phones weren't working. Their executives were communicating via texting trees in their cell phones because that's all that worked. I mean, they were literally using tools like WhatsApp. But this commander's intent emerged from the CEO. Do what is right by the customer. Do not wait for headquarters. We will accept all costs. Very clear on what that commander expects his team to do, empowers them to get it done without having to check back with the corporate headquarters, and gives them some permission to go outside their normal swim lanes. Incredibly powerful leadership in the midst of crisis. Can you write a similar commander's intent for your team if you have to respond to a large-scale cybersecurity incident in the midst of COVID-19. So as we think about coronavirus and writing a commander's intent, what should you put in that commander's intent? Well, you might want to think about employee health and making sure you can maintain the health and safety of your employees during any response. Obviously, maintaining continuous operations, particularly while those operations may have many of your people working remotely. And lastly, you want to think about new threats. You probably have some new vulnerabilities that have emerged because you've got so many people working remotely. You've maybe got more vendors that have access to your system than normal. So let's think about those new threats and how you might want to incorporate them into your commander's intent. So again, my name is Caleb Barlow. I'm from the security and privacy firm known as Synergistic. And if you come up with a new commander's intent and you want a second point of view, we'd love to see it. Or if you need help writing one, reach out to us as well. Thank you.